If you look at what happens if they expire, it becomes a very different ballgame. 4 million people become uninsured almost immediately based on some estimates out there. Dramatic rate hikes would follow as well. How high would those rate hikes be? Well, if you were making $18,000 a year, not much, your current premium for this is $0. That's great, but then $378 is your new premium. $378 is the change. If you're making $35,000 a year, your current premium, $1,033. Your new premium, if it expires, look at that, more than double. So up 15, almost 1,600. And if you're 55,000, 4,000 jumps up to 5,478, another.
The anger boiling over the MAGA supporter right now says a lot about how misinformation eventually collides with reality. And for years, guys, Obamacare was treated like a dirty word in conservative spaces, something to be mocked, repealed, and even blamed for every problem in the American healthcare. But now, Black Americans are publicly pointing out a truth that's making many MAGA supporters furious. And this is that Affordable Care Act coverage is essentially the same system they were told had already been scrapped. And so, guys, before I continue, let me emphasize on something. Your support, guys, in this channel through subscription is more precious than silver and gold and any material support. So please, before you continue, consider to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll always be notified when we upload a video. And also let me know what you think about this topic on the comments section. And guys, credit goes to all the creators for these videos. So guys, let's watch these videos, then I'll come back at the end with another deeper commentary.
What is the main difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
I believe that Obamacare, the premiums are too much, too high, so people end up paying more.
Right.
So I believe in the Affordable Care Act.
And so the Affordable Care Act is more affordable than Obamacare?
Right, correct.
Right.
Which is obvious based on the name.
It's in the name, right.
Right.
You support Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
Affordable Care Act.
MAGA supporters who stopped reading when Dr. Seuss books got a little too complicated, repeat after me. The Affordable Care Act and Obamacare are the same. One more time. The Affordable Care Act and Obamacare are the same. So while your president is on the news and being interviewed talking about Obamacare needs to be redacted and I'm going to fix it and bliggity blah, 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 and you're rooting and cheering and applauding and all that kind of good stuff because you're like, we support the Affordable Care Act. I hate to tell you this, but they are the same. So the Affordable Care Act that provides you with medical coverage that you can afford is, say it with me, Obama, the black president, care.
Today is January 1st, 2026. Let me start out by saying Happy New Year, y'all. But as of today, effectively, all ACA subsidies have officially expired. Come on and sip a little tea with Auntie. Let's talk about it. So what does that mean for your healthcare premiums? Y'all, they're going to skyrocket. They are going to get high. Some people are not even going to be able to afford their healthcare. Now, while everybody is sitting back saying, well, Auntie, they're going to have a vote sometime in January. They're going to have a vote sometime in January. You're absolutely right. They will have a vote sometime in January. But Mike Johnson has clearly stated over and over and over again, his position hasn't changed, that he does not want ACA subsidies nowhere affiliated with no type of health care whatsoever, y'all. So if everything goes his way, y'all, this is the new norm for American people. People are going to have to get some side hustles and some extra jobs just to be able to afford health care.
All of these Trump voters admitting that they didn't realize that Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act when they vehemently hated Obamacare is one of the most openly racist things I've ever seen in my life. The Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, is why you're allowed to stay on your parents' health insurance until you're 26. Did you know that? I bet a lot of people didn't know that. If you're under 26 and you know people who don't care about this stuff because it hasn't affected them, it's not going to affect them, and they're on their parents' health insurance, I would let them know. I'd give them a heads up. Hey guys, you're going to get kicked off your parents' health insurance. Hopefully your parents are going to still pay for your new health insurance separate from theirs once this happens, once the ACA is gutted, because you're not going to be allowed on your parents' health insurance anymore. It's really unfortunate that every time I have to come on here and be like, here's something that's going to affect people directly that otherwise probably wouldn't have cared or apolitical or like what's going on. But this is something that's going to impact a lot of people under the age of 26.
Suffer. Your cousin will plan a home birth because she's more scared of the bill than labor. Your grandpa will ration his insulin and die. Your best friend will ignore the lump and the pain because they're too broke to pay for a doctor. Your mom will stop taking her heart medication. Your brother in therapy will lose access and you'll worry each time he doesn't text back. The Affordable Care Act subsidies expire in January. And once again, our government is here to remind us that in their eyes, healthcare is not a human right.
Because either A, you're too young to remember what the financial market and environment looked like back in like 2006, 2008, or you got a very short memory. I entered the workforce back in 2006, the same year I entered college, and the minimum wage was $5.15 an hour. Maybe 1 or 2 years after that, it was $6.55 an hour. At $5.15 an hour, $6.55 an hour, you were not getting insurance through the company. I remember that vividly. That premium was going to at least eat up 1 week of your check, and you only making $200 a week anyway. And you for damn sure wasn't going to get it privately because the premiums are even higher. This is why people back in the day told y'all, get a job with the post office, get a job with the city, get a job with the state, work for the government. Why? Because you may not get rich working for the government, but them benefits are going to make sure you're taken care of. But if you want to know the value of the ACA, you can just look at the benefits they celebrate. Do you know how many people were denied coverage due to pre-existing conditions? Do you understand how many people had the prices of their insurance jacked up just because they got sick? Y'all are harder on this legislation than y'all are on the companies that cause need for legislation. High premiums existed long before the Affordable Care Act. High deductibles existed long before the Affordable Care Act. Medical debt definitely existed long before the Affordable Care Act. In fact, medical debt has always been one of the leading causes of bankruptcy in the United States. The Affordable Care Act was originally meant to be a step toward universal health care. The problem is nobody else has taken another step to actually accomplish the goal of universal health care for citizens of the United States.
Now, the MAGA supporters are furious after discovering that ACA and Affordable Care Act and Obamacare is just the same law but different name and same protection. And what's exposing the contradiction is the looming deadline. The ACA is set to expire in January 2026, the month that we are already in, unless renewed or replaced. Suddenly, the consequences are impossible to ignore. And millions of Americans, many of them MAGA voters, are now realizing that the healthy care they rely on is Obamacare, whether they like the name or not. And Black Americans have been especially vocal about this hypocrisy. And for years, they want that repealing Obamacare without a real replacement would hurt everyday people the most, and especially the workers, seniors, families with pre-existing conditions, and low-income earning Americans. And guys, those warnings were dismissed as political fear mongering. And so now, what is happening? The same people who cheered its repeal are now panicking. So, guys, the fury isn't just about policy, it's about embarrassment. Many MAGA supporters are confronting the fact that they defended politicians who promised better, cheaper healthcare and never delivered. And no replacement, no improved system, just slogans. And now the safety net they assumed would always be there is at risk of disappearing. So this is how things look. If the ACA expires, the impact on health and wellness in the United States will be massive. Pre-existing condition protections could vanish. Insurance could cost way higher, and preventive care access could shrink. Mental health services, maternal care, and chronic illness treatment will all take major hits. And this isn't theoretical; it is structural. So, guys, Black Americans aren't celebrating this movement. Many are saying, "We try to tell you." They understand that healthcare collapse doesn't discriminate; it spreads harm across communities. But there is a clear sense of frustration. The truth was ignored because it came from the wrong people or was labeled liberal propaganda. And now, guys, the clock is ticking. January 2026 is here with us, and the reality is setting in. Obamacare never really left. It was renamed, rebranded, and politically distorted, but it kept millions alive. And guys, as the consequences becomes clearer, the anger from MAGA supporters is less about betrayal from Black Americans and more about realizing they were misled by the very movement they trusted. And guys, reality has a way of always catching up, and this time it is knocking on the Americans' hospital doors. So, guys, that is the situation that is happening right now regarding the Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act. So, guys, do let me know what your thoughts are on this topic. And remember, guys, just a disclaimer that these are social media posts and not certified information. But guys, once they are certified, I will always do provide the credits for that. So guys, let's enjoy the videos, let's enjoy the commentary, and see you in my next episode.